This week, planes, trains, and snowmobiles. Hello and welcome to another 24/7, where this week we begin with the choir Gareth's Best in Britain on BBC Two, where choirmaster Gareth Malone was touring the nation looking for the best local choir groups. He began his search in Scotland and the north of England on Tuesday. First we meet a group of excitable explorers encountering the lesser spotted Malone.
Should we go and meet Gareth?
Gareth was beginning his search this year in Scotland.
Hello, Scotland! Can anybody hear me?
I don't think anybody's going to hear you.
Get up, get on up, get up.
Soul music for me is like a light switch. You flick it and the lights come on.
Yeah, great light switch analogy, of course, there. In fact, it sounded like it was a bit like the last time I switched my light on down the cellar.
I wanted to do stuff that I liked and share it with people who like the same kind of music. Let a few friends know, and then suddenly just went...
It was time to meet the choirs for real then, and Gareth seemed impressed by the first group of contestants.
You broke the chains, now I can't lift my hands. And I'm gonna praise you, praise you. I'm gonna praise you.
Hey, good. Thank you. I'm the only person clapping.
Yeah, because you're the only person in the audience. The next group had an interesting start to their song. I quite like that different start to that group's song there. A sort of gradual crescendo, if you like. I wonder whether there's a technical term for that.
Thank you. It was lovely. Beautiful. Do you know what was really good? Was the bit there, all of that stuff. Like, it's a scene from Highlander.
Oh, it's the style, is it?
Actually made for you.
One of the groups had even made Gareth a welcoming apple pie.
Oh, it's my glasses.
Really?
Oh, and you made that especially. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Trying to break into the mainstream of entertainment TV, though, Gareth decided to break out a catchphrase.
So your first public performance will be for me. Did you think I was a kind of soft target? Or something?
Like, who else best to ask than Gareth?
Oh, okay. Let's do some singing.
Yeah, good catchphrase there. Let's do some singing.
Let's do some singing.
Up next were a group called the Honey Bells, who certainly were wearing some distinctive clothing.
Today he'll be heading to the Peak District to audition all-female group the Honey Bells.
Yeah, Batwoman doesn't stay as undercover as she used to.
They're quite colourful. It might be a little bit like a hen party. Oh, that's what it is. They're dressed in yellow because they're called the Honey Bells. And honey is yellow.
Yeah, well done, Gareth. You could certainly be quite critical of the choirs too.
I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna let myself get absolutely soaking wet. Always raining men.
Wow, that's a very loud noise.
You old charmer, Gareth.
Always raining men.
There were 6 groups to get through, and Gareth wasn't spending that long listening to each one. However, it was noticeable in the short time that he was with this group just how many different facial expressions and levels of excitement there were in the choir.
The rhythm of life is a powerful beat. Puts a tingle in your fingers and a tingle in your feet. Rhythm in the bedroom, rhythm on the street. Oh, the rhythm of life is a powerful beat.
It's amazing, that, isn't it?
Seeing the strength and the spirit, I found incredibly moving. I can't stand the rhythm of life.
After seeing all 6 choirs, though, Gareth went back to his hotel room to reflect on what he'd seen.
But I now know, I think, which of the 3 groups I want to take forward, and they're the ones that are ready for the challenge.
don't leave your glasses there, you might roll on them. Gareth chose 3 choirs from those initial 6 to move through to the next stage of this northern contest. However, in an interesting production decision, we didn't actually get to see the moment that they found out that they were through. Instead, it was on to sing another song in a local centre.
Hello! Hi! Yeah!
Gareth thought the next group could do with a bit of help.
It's all there, it's just so lacking skill. I think of the first group that performed, they were so polished. And if that lot had somebody telling them what to do, I think they could be absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, if only there was a choir master available.
I'm going to put you through. Yeah. Well done. Well done. Does this mean I'm going to be eating more of your pie? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Well done. Well done. Are we all hugging? Please don't have an asthma attack.
You old charmer, Gareth.
That's probably a step too far to do something that we're not comfortable with vocally and then put it on our faces that we're absolutely loving this.
Yes.
Because like, inside our heads we're going, I ain't got a clue.
No. Yeah.
But the winners of that regional section had some confidence issues ahead of their first public performance. Fortunately, Gareth was on hand.
So we're going to bottle that feeling and just squirt a bit on every day.
Oh, like a sort of pungent eau de toilette.
Yes. Of Gareth.
Of Gareth confidence.
Yes. Confidence in a bottle.
That's it. That's what we need. Yeah. Ladies, I'm glad to be leaving you on a high. Well done.
Well done.
Yeah, you should sell that fragrance, Confidence by Malone.
OK, we've got a mountain to climb.
I'm going to win.
OK.
All right.
Thank you. I mean, I just don't know if they're actually ready for this contest in any way, shape or form.
You old charmer, Gareth.
She steals like a thief, but she's always a woman to me.
As usual, the end performance went down well with the local community, but I was more interested by the TARDIS hiding in the back of the shot.
She's always a woman to
And they'll move through to the later rounds of Gareth's competition on BBC Two.
I don't know how they're going to fare when they get in the contest. If they're going to do well, they're going to have to step it up a lot. If they get it right, they've got a chance.
Super Shoppers now on Channel 4, a programme all about getting the best deals for your money. But what's the verb when you're participating in super shopping?
Let's get super shoppering.
Oh. They did like a good game of stack 'em up on this show.
And the latest food trend, added protein, is everywhere, but we reveal it might not be good for you or your pocket.
I mean, what a great game. It's great fun, really. I mean, it's easy to... Oh.
And while regular Weetabix has just 4.4 grams of sugar per 100 grams, Protein Crunch has 5 times that amount, an incredible 22 grams.
It's interesting stuff, this, isn't it? And they had a countdown to prove their point.
But taking the top spot in our countdown of dubiousness is Fuel 10K Protein Boosted Granola. Not only is it more than 30% sugar, this is again a cereal that's not even technically high in protein.
Not even technically well known either.
So take Feminax, also known as PL12063/0071, produced by drug giant Perrigo. It's also exactly the same drug as all of these products.
Do they just like stacking stuff up on this show? Should be called Super Stackers.
So despite offering exactly the same product, Age UK Enterprises is charging almost double what you'd pay in Argos.
After the break, there was an interesting discussion as regards Age UK selling products to the elderly for higher rates than you could get them if you just shopped around normally, which doesn't sound like a great idea when they're meant to be helping OAPs through the later stages of their life. They had one particular old gentleman on playing off against the presenter to determine just how many such rogue deals there were.
The majority of Age UK Enterprises' turnover comes from insurance. Last year alone, they sold policies worth £22 million. But are these policies offering our over 60s the best price?
To find out, let's look at car insurance for the older driver. Using Rob's particulars, we're both going to search for the best deal.
Rob's particulars? Good grief, what sort of show is this?
So the quote I've got here for your car insurance is £349.
£349.
Does that sound expensive to you?
Absolutely.
What have you got?
And I have Hastings Direct, a quote from them for £213.68.
So that's around £136 cheaper.
I mean, really, it's quite a shocking find, this, isn't it? And there were plenty of other examples elsewhere.
And Tenor Lady normal pads, which were 22% cheaper at Waitrose.
Yeah, if it's cheaper in Waitrose, that really is overpricing. What did Age UK say about it all?
We asked Age UK to respond. They said we had taken a misleading and grossly unfair approach. The methodology applied by super shoppers fails to give a fair representation of the competitiveness, quality and value of Age UK products. The insurance products we offer are priced competitively and provide great value. Our other products are priced at the equivalent of, if not better than, other providers more than half the time.
OK, I'm not quite sure how they've come to that conclusion, but there we are. Waterstones was last up for the Super Shoppers treatment, and Andy Osho was showing us how that we could get cheaper prices on our books in the shop as opposed to in the shop.
How about this? I love Mary Berry. Mary Berry's Baking Bible, 20 quid.
No way! I've just paid 25 quid for Mezza Bezza in store at the same time as you.
So here's the secret to getting the best deal. While browsing the shelves of your local Waterstones, get your smartphone out and check prices on their website as well.
Most of the time, the price is going to be cheaper online, so you buy it online, right?
Okay.
But you hit click to collect.
Right.
So then you go to the till, you collect the book, and then you get the online price in store. Boom.
I like the idea of that. I presume it's been a well-researched thing, though.
In our own Super Shoppers survey of more than 36 books, we discovered 3/4 of them were around 25% cheaper through Waterstones online compared to in-store.
More than 36? Wow. Let's just break that down to the actual numbers there. Now, more than 36, but they clearly didn't do more than 4 dozen, otherwise they'd have said that. So that means that they must have done somewhere between 37 and 47 trials. Wow. That just, well, it's conclusive evidence, really, isn't it? Countrywise Guide to Britain now on ITV, a programme that is in no way the same as Countryfile. This week, Ben Fogle was taking a look at the cycling routes of Yorkshire, following the success of the Tour de France and Tour de Yorkshire in the region over the last few years.
But first I need wheels, so I've come to Happy Days Bike Library in the hope that Angela Keenan can help me out.
That's not the country, it's a bike shop. When they did get on with it though, they went to visit one of the steepest climbs in the local area.
But after a gentle start to the day, Nick's taking me to one of the county's more difficult cycling challenges in the mean back streets of Hebden Bridge.
Are you serious? What is this?
You said you wanted steep climbs.
What's this called then?
This is the buttress, and this is about as steep as it gets.
When I see that, I think not a chance.
I'd just walk it up if I were you.
Should we give it a go, though?
Come on, I like a challenge.
The buttress may be only 300 metres long, but 3 out of 4 cyclists who attempt it don't reach the summit.
Blimey, it sounds a bit dangerous.
Good job! Miles past the door.
Oh, I kind of want to try one more time. Maybe I quit while I'm ahead.
Later on, Ben met up with some local cycling enthusiasts. And what do you call your cycling event if you really want people to get behind it?
Matt Manicky and Victoria Tremlin are 2 of them. This year, they started a cycle challenge called The Struggle.
The Struggle? Doesn't sound very appealing, does it? I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
I can hear you over here, the Cappuccino Cycling Club. Lots of lycra going on here.
Yeah. The Cappuccino Cycling Club, now you're talking. I mean, what would you rather join up to? The Cappuccino Cycling Club or The Struggle?
And although Yorkshire may be the undisputed home of British cycling, taking to two wheels is a great way to explore the countryside wherever you live. Three of our favourite places to get on your bike are the hills of Ennerdale in Cumbria.
Emmerdale, that's Yorkshire as well, isn't it? Oh, Ennerdale, sorry.
This 11-acre enclosure, one of 4 on the grounds, is home to Peppy and Callow.
Later on, Liz Bonin was visiting Tony, who was keeping some wolves.
Although habituated to humans, they have retained much of their wild nature, so it's important to respect them and their space.
These particular wolves also certainly had a distinctive sound.
Is it because she's so old that she can't actually vocalise?
That's right, yeah.
But, sorry viewers, I think my kettle's just boiled. Turns out it was the wolves. Finally, they went to visit the real-life castle where some of Harry Potter was filmed, and one of the actors from the series was being taken round on a tour by one of the groundsmen.
Today, David is giving Ian a hand to spruce up the walkways before the visitors arrive.
Nice and even. Right. Gets rid of all the footprints from the day before.
So you do this every morning?
Surely you've got to run the brush behind you, otherwise you just create the footprints again.
A landmark court ruling that delivers a body blow to the government's Brexit plans.
A quick look at the week's news now, starting with the Brexit vote in the High Court, where judges decided that Theresa May couldn't just crack on with it. Judges at the High Court ruled that MPs must be consulted before the process of leaving the EU can be triggered. Following the controversial case led by businesswoman Gina Miller, however, the government is set to appeal the verdict in the Supreme Court, meaning we get to do it all again in the new year.
It's about our United Kingdom and all our futures.
The BBC were gauging people's opinion and even found time to interview Rod Stewart.
I mean, it took 3 of the highest court judges in the land to come up with their decision, and I think it was a no-brainer.
Unsurprisingly, the ruling elicited some protests.
Real judges will make their next decision in December. And whatever they say, when it comes to leaving the EU, Parliament's braver from today. However you voted, the referendum.
Blimey, Gina's changed.
Down to you. Laura Kunzberg, BBC News at the High Court.
Also during the week, the BBC's online news were looking ahead to the launch of the new 12-sided pound coin in 2017. Of most interest was this list of security features, which is surely just helping the fraudsters get a head start, isn't it? 12 sides, yeah, don't get something so simple wrong, conman, that's not fooling anyone, is it? Bimetallic, you know, like a £2, so whatever you're using to forge your £2, use the same here, right? Latent image, oh flashy, you're going to have to work on that one, Phil, latent image. Micro lettering, you got a chisel, haven't you, Phil? Got it, brilliant. Milled edges, it says alternate sides, Phil, alternate sides. Don't do every side, every other side, Phil. They've only left one feature as a secret. Not to be outdone by Michael Portillo, Chris Tarrant has got his own train series. It's Extreme Railways on Channel 5. And this week it was an ice train to nowhere.
Fortunately, I do have a ride out of here on a rather unusual machine.
Hiya, you must be Bruce. I am Bruce. And your name?
Oh, you know, it's me, Chris Tarrant, of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
From Seward, I'm trying to rendezvous with a freight train coming up from Alaska's other main port.
But what have the Americans called that destination port?
At a place called Portage.
Portage, great, brilliant.
Where I hope to hitch a ride to Alaska's largest city, Anchorage. From here, I'll head north to explore tiny settlements, spectacular mountains, and meet solitary homesteaders.
But where was Chris's ultimate destination? He told us in typical Tarrant style.
Until the line reaches its final destination, Fairbanks, otherwise known as the middle of nowhere.
Chris was delighted to see the passenger train though, and he was jumping up and down gleefully in the carriage like a young child.
This is rather nice, isn't it? Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Hey, good.
But what with Chris having hosted so many game shows, he couldn't help but quizzing the waitress.
Is it anything like what I asked for?
No.
Is that ptarmigan?
Close, yeah.
Is that Rudolph the reindeer?
And that's Rudolph. And we got smoked bacon in there and potatoes.
Is that your final answer?
It looks nice, actually.
Chris certainly isn't a traditional documentary maker, as exemplified by this clip.
We're approaching my first stop now. A little place whose name I can't pronounce.
Somewhere he can't pronounce. Very good. To be honest, I could probably do no better. Now, Chris was taking not just to trains, though, but other forms of Arctic and Alaskan transport.
So this is pretty wild out here, and you live in the middle of all this.
That's the truth.
Nope. I thought you were experienced at this.
Yeah, the way he's dressed there, it makes it look like he's going to be the new James Bond.
I'm glad that gun didn't go off.
Tarrant. Chris Tarrant.
And he just kept scratching. All right, these are all scratching, trying to pull that door open. He gouged in there and there.
He was going to stay with somebody in the very depths of Alaska, where it was very cold and very dangerous, the particular threat being bears.
Hey,
what?
Door, come on, it's Alaska.
Oh, sorry.
We can't all live in Buckingham Palace, you know.
Very bustly, aren't you?
Yeah, Chris doesn't live in Buckingham Palace either.
Watch your head.
Not so good if you're 6'2".
Yeah.
Oh, this is
It's
really...
not much good if you're 5'8" either. That's my protection there.
Wow, that plastic sheet, very protective, that, isn't it? I mean, I can imagine that if you bang your head on that piece of wood, then you're going to be fine, because you put a bit of tarpaulin on it.
I said I'd spend one night there. You have to be polite. But in reality, I'm hugely relieved Steve's dropping me off in the nearest town.
Yeah, I wouldn't stay there either, frankly. How about finding somewhere a bit safer?
Oh, it's actually quite nice. Wood fire, a few books to read, a few albums to play, nice cosy bed. It's actually quite nice, except it is still in the middle of absolutely nowhere in bear country. Night night.
Lovely. Much better.
And good morning. You are tuned to KTNA Talkeetna, 88.9 FM on your dial. It is March 29th, about 7:40 in the morning. Currently 34.5 degrees outside the studio under really overcast skies.
Oh, no one needs to see that. And that is my final answer.
Hope you're having a great time on your Alaska adventure. Don't fall through the ice and don't wake the bears.
Has it gone yet?
So, day 4 of my trip, and I'm still alive.
Chris continued his journey into the very depths of Alaska, where daily life became ever more different from what we're used to.
The off-gridders who live out here really depend on the railroad. They can even get their daily news, courtesy of Harry Ross.
Oh, steady on!
But much more than that, it brought the people, it created Alaska as we know it today, and they're rightly proud of it.
And that's it for this edition of 24/7. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week.